Today we're going to show you at home how to build a gaming PC that can handle 1440p streaming and is aesthetically pleasing,
while also offering an amazing upgrade path, and we're going to show you step by step how to build it and how you can win one of these after a word from today's sponsor.
Today's video is brought to you by TeamGroup and their T-Create Smart A2 microSD card. As a company that deals with SD cards daily and handles terabytes of raw footage, we take our storage pretty seriously in order to avoid any data corruption and downtime. That's where the T-Create Smart A2 shines, as it adopts NAND flash wear-out detection technology supported by Smart. With just a click, you're able to monitor the condition of the memory card to avoid what we all hate, data corruption. Besides just being safe and secure, it comes in a wide range of capacities all the way up to 2 terabytes. With read speeds up to 160 MB a second and write speeds of 150 MB a second, this card is more than capable of handling 4K video and anything you might throw at it. With its lifetime warranty and affordable pricing, the T-Create Smart A2 is an amazing choice for any of you in the market for an SD card. For more information or to buy one today, check out the links in the description down below. Now, let's get back to that video.
So yeah, you heard us right. Normally we give you a price and we just build the gaming PC and then we test it in gaming, but today we're going to be actually streaming from this PC that we're going to show you step by step how to build. And this one today is going to be great because at just $1,050, we're going to be able to game and stream really well. So for the CPU, we have the cheapest AM5 CPU right here. This is the 7500F that we bought off AliExpress. Now, before you start freaking out and go, what about the warranty? What about blah, blah, blah? You can buy the 7600 if you want to on Amazon, but we decided to save quite a bit of money because this comes in at about 136 bucks. It's a 6-core, 12-thread, performs just like the 7600. The only downside is you just have to wait a little bit and it doesn't come with the stock cooler. And being an F, it also does not come with the iGPU, but we're not gonna need that because we have a special GPU. Now to cool that CPU, we definitely went a little bit overkill, but it's gonna look so nice. This is the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 240mm. We decided to go with the all black version. It has like an actual fan to cool the VRMs as well, so it's considered to be one of the most efficient coolers in the market. And coming in at 77 bucks, it's actually a pretty good price. Now for the motherboard, this is an awesome selection right now. This is the Gigabyte B650 Gaming X-AX. That means it has Wi-Fi. It is automatically DDR5 since it is AM5 Ryzen, and on top of that, it's a full-size board that has a pretty nice looking color scheme to it, and it's definitely going to house our CPU really well. And on top of that, you guys can go to a 7800X3D as well if you wanted to in the future. And yeah, being a new board at $178, you also get 2.5 gigabit LAN. You actually have an 8-pin and a 4-pin for the CPU, and you have 4 RAM slots that can handle some pretty high speeds. And for $83.15 on Amazon, this is the TeamGroup T-Create 32GB kit of RAM that's DDR5. It comes in at 5600 megahertz. You can spend a little bit more and get 6000 or even higher as well, but it's dual channel, it's tons of capacity, and it is very fast. What more could you ask for that price? And speaking of what more could you ask for the price, $65 for a 1TB Gen 4 SSD that is a very sought after drive, the P41 Plus. This thing is pretty fast, and on top of that, it's from a very trusted company that even makes drives for Intel themselves.
Now for the GPU, this is a really good deal on the used market. This is the RTX 3070. You get very similar performance to something like the 4060 Ti, but you can get it for around $250 to $270. That's a good price range to look for if you are aiming to get a GPU like this. And because this is a streaming focused PC build, we had to go NVIDIA for that NVIC encoder to have a really good live streaming experience. We ended up paying about $276 for our model right here, which is a little bit higher than the average price on eBay, but you can find them from a wide range of sellers, and with deal hunting, you can save even more money with this PC build. And we chose this specific Gigabyte model because it is a 3-fan card and matches the color scheme we're going for because we didn't want to just deliver a really awesome streaming PC, we wanted to look great as well. The power supply, Segotep, 650 watt. 80 plus gold. Do I have to say anything more, guys? We use this power supply all the time, especially for these builds and PCPros.tech, our PC selling business. And yeah, 650 watts, plenty for this build. If you do want to have a little bit of a future-proof upgrade, you can opt for the 750 watt version with that ATX 3.0 cable, but we really like these power supplies. It has plenty of watts to power this build. And coming in at 50 bucks, it's a really good price for the wattage. Now for the case, we decided to go nice and premium with this one. This is the Hyte Y40, which is a very awesome case that we've built with a ton of PC bros, and also on the YouTube channel, we use it quite a few times. It comes with that vertical GPU mount, which is gonna look really nice with our RTX 3070, and it has really awesome airflow, very premium build quality, and comes in at a price point of 122 bucks. And we are gonna be adding some Hyte fans to this build. This is their Flow FA12 3 fan pack. You at home, you don't necessarily need to do this. Trying to match the graphics card as close as we can, so we kind of have like a black and gray color scheme going here that's gonna look really clean. Now with these monthly PC builds that we do give away on twitch.tv/ToastyBros, we like to show you guys step by step how to build this at home if you want to build one yourself. So we're gonna get Jackson in here to show you how to set up the motherboard. I'm gonna show you how to install the power supply in the case, and from there we're gonna put it all together and have an awesome gaming PC that we're gonna be testing in some live streaming during the benchmark section. Let's get to building.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and start off with one of my favorite parts to install, the CPU. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that 7500F out of the clamshell, and we're basically just going to push this latch down and over, and then it's going to reveal all of the precious pins. Be really careful not to bend these. Now's a good time to inspect it too. Make sure that you don't see any pins that look severely out of place or anything. It'll usually be pretty obvious. So we're gonna line up the notches on the CPU, and I like to kind of just drop it in place. Now, you guys can see we're actually up on the edge a little bit. You're just gonna nudge it. There we go. And you also have this arrow to guide you as well. So now, we push this down. We do that, and usually this will just pop off on its own, but sometimes it doesn't. So there you go, we got a CPU installed. We don't have any bent pins as of now, so we're off to a good start. So next up, we're gonna be installing the RAM, but as you guys can see, we have only 2 sticks, but we have 4 slots. Now here, the board actually tells us to use B2 and A2, so we're gonna be doing that. I like to call it slot 1 and 3, or just start from the furthest away from the CPU. Now these DDR5 sticks, the notch is really close, so I usually like to kind of get it in place. I can tell that it's lined up, so now I use my fingers to actually push the RAM down. I'd say using your thumbs is probably the easiest bet, so kind of take it, go just like that. Just make sure you put it, equal pressure pushing straight down. You don't want to fold a RAM lane over because then you're gonna need a whole new board. Now this right here is gonna require a tool. This is the P41. So we're gonna need to get a different size out. This is a PH2, but we need to go smaller. We need a PH1 or even a PH0 if you don't have the one. But this PH1 is gonna be the perfect size. We're gonna use the topmost slot, and one thing that's cool about this board is every single slot actually has heat sinks over it, so it's a pretty nice budget board, especially having Wi-Fi and everything too. Go ahead and reveal the thermal pad. This is a reusable thermal pad that'll help keep that Gen 4 temps nice and low. We basically just put it in like that. It will be at an angle. And then you're gonna push down on this, but we're also gonna need to get an M.2 screw out. So we'll go ahead. Boop. Look at how tiny that little screw is. We don't want to lose that. Here's the LTT screwdrivers come in handy. Having a nice little magnet. And you really don't need to tighten these much. You just get it to where it's kind of like finger tight. So you see I'm not even using the top of the screwdriver. I'm just using the shaft essentially. And don't worry, this screw comes in the motherboard box along with your Wi-Fi and some other things. So we're gonna go ahead and put that back on now. Same deal, we don't need it super tight. We're just gonna get it kind of finger tight. There we go. So now we have CPU, RAM, storage installed. Let's go ahead and work on getting the Arctic 240 in. I will say these coolers can be a little bit complicated to install, but if you just follow step by step, we'll make it nice and easy. This is all the parts that it comes with. We're not gonna need this yet. This is just a magnetically held on piece. We're not gonna need this. This is actually for Intel LGA 1700 to keep your CPU flat. We're just gonna need this bag right here. And one thing that I love about Arctic that you'll see in a second here is the fans actually come pre-installed, and they should be facing the right way and everything too, so that's one less job we have to do. So we're gonna get out the AMD baggie here, and this should work for AM4 or AM5. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna need these brackets along with these here. We're gonna go ahead and come over here to our motherboard. We're going to uninstall the stock brackets. There are some coolers that will use these, but most of them have their own proprietary mounting. And this, honestly, a PH2 would be better for this job, but listen guys, when you got all these years under your belt, you'll make anything work. Right. I wanna make sure I put these on the right way. So these don't have an orientation. Just put these on here. That's gonna get our height established. And now this part, it's a good idea to check before you go screwing in. So we're gonna put the cooler in like this. And then in theory, let's go ahead and make sure that this all lines up. So this is gonna go on like this. So the brackets are going to go this way, but we need to make sure, because sometimes they go in, sometimes they go out. Just depends. Very carefully. I'm going to take this back off so I can actually see where my, because this actually covers, it's a really nice cooler. It covers up the mounting. Oh yeah. So that appears to be lining up. So they're gonna be kind of facing outwards. All right, yeah, so it looks like the brackets actually do have a R and L. I don't know if that's because the hole is maybe slightly offset. I thought they were the exact same, but there is a right and a left, so we're just gonna play it safe and do right and left. So we'll go ahead and get that going. And like I said, guys, brackets facing outwards. All right, and get those, they don't need to be super tight, just a little bit tighter than hand tight. Okay, I'm gonna go and put these in here. Make it a little easier. And boom, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that good old Arctic, it comes with MX6, some really good paste. And for the thermal paste, make sure your CPU is pretty clean, but I like to kind of do like a little diagonal. I come straight across here, because I would rather have too much paste where it spills over a little bit than too little personally. But I usually go for that method there. I just find that has a really good spread. We should have a little bit of spillage in the thermal paste, but not much. Almost forgot to remove the peel, and Jonah reminded me, because I definitely would have forgotten that. It looks like we're still good on thermal paste. So now that we have the peel removed, which is a very important part. So for this, these coolers use a lot of pressure. You really want to get one side just a couple of turns in, and then come over to the other side. You're probably gonna have to kind of get low here to really line it up. But you gotta use a lot of force to get this thing started. Did we get it? Nope, we didn't even get it. You gotta use a lot of force, Jonah. Here we go. Oh my God. I think we're started. All right, we're gonna go back and forth now because, like I said, when you get a lot of force on these things, you really want to be careful because it's kind of like spring loaded. You know, you don't want this thing flying off on you. All right, we're bottom down on the left side. So make sure the right, and boom. All right. So now the only thing we need to do is peel this. See this right here? This actually, because this cooler is a really, really cool design. It actually has these contacts in here and it uses magnets to hold it on. So you should be able, just once you do that peel, drop it on, peel that off. And like I said, there's literally a mini fan in here. Actually, wait, you know what? We skipped a step. Don't forget these, because you need your cooler to actually cool the system. They give you two choices. This right here is the main connector for the Arctic block. Now you have a choice of just doing one cable. What that means though is that your CPU fans, your pump, and the tiny little fan inside of here is all gonna run at the same speed. I actually kind of prefer to use this one here because then you can control every single aspect of this cooler, which is a super nice feature. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that back off. This is going to, Jonah, you have to swing over to here on this side. So the top pieces, like the notches here, they should go up if I'm not mistaken. It's a tiny little connector, which this would probably be smart to do, honestly, before you get it in the build, but there you go. We'll go ahead and let's go ahead and put this back on because I kind of see where this is gonna run. You gotta make sure you're not, getting in the way of the magnets either, because if this doesn't make contact, you're not gonna have those fans spinning. So let's go ahead and plug these in real quick. So you guys can see, actually, this works out perfect. We have 3 headers at the top. So the pump is one of them. I like to use that on CPU optional, which sometimes will be referred to as like CPU option or CPU pump. This right here is the CPU fans. So I'm gonna plug that into CPU fan, and then this literally is just 2 cables. It's a positive and a negative. That's gonna get your DC pump speed. So we'll plug that into there. Save Matt and I a little bit of trouble once we get this in the build. I'm gonna go ahead and actually kind of cable manage this real quick because we're basically done with the motherboard. It really wasn't too bad at all. This thing's gonna run really chilly. We're definitely got an overkill cooler for it. So we'll do that. Let's do one more just like this. Oh yeah, it's pretty clean. Now we're gonna grab some flush cuts. All right, so now we got our zip ties installed. I think that's looking pretty good. So at this point, we got the completed motherboard. Normally, I would tell you guys to, you know your coolers all the one if you can pick it up by the cooler, but obviously it's held on by a magnet. So we're basically gonna safely transport this, but now we're ready to basically pick it up and plop it into the case.
All right, guys, now that Jackson has prepped the motherboard, it is time to get the fans installed and also the power supply. Let's go and do the fans first so we get that out of the way. What we have right here is our 3-pack of fans, which again, at home, we don't necessarily need to do this. And also we realized we got 3 fans. We necessarily only needed 2 of them. So you can find a 2-pack of fans instead and save yourself a little bit of money, but we have the extra fans for the other builds of PC Bros. So we're going to open this up, and inside we have our beautiful fans. We're going to take out 2 of these bad boys, and we're gonna put these off to the side. Now, how we're gonna run these fans is in an intake setup from this side of the case. So the fan setup is gonna be as follows. We're going to run 2 fans right here on intake, which is the fans facing this way. So they're gonna be mounted, well, rotated this way so the cable can run through here, but they're gonna be mounted like this, going here and here. And we're gonna stack them up that way, and then we'll run the cable back through here. It'll be very simple. You're gonna need your screws though. These are the screws that came with the fans. These are your fan screws, which each one has 4. So we'll go ahead and open one up. I'll let that fan sit there. I definitely didn't drop it there. All right, so we got our 4 screws right here, which will be absolutely perfect for screwing in these fans. And I need a screwdriver, which right now we're currently on, I believe, this is a PH1. We gotta go to PH2. Get a little more torque action. Switch to PH2. Go ahead and take our screw here. We'll go ahead and line them up like so for right now. We might adjust them if need be, but we'll go ahead and start here. And we'll go ahead and start screwing in the fans from the back. All right, that one's in. Let's go ahead and take the other one. You can untie these twist ties too, just to pull these out a little bit easier. Do the same thing on this fan. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Gonna do a little reach around like so. And how does that look, Jonah? Should they be together or together like that. All right, let's do it. Let's screw this in. Take another screw. All right, so now we have our additional 2 fans installed. So we have intake going here, exhaust here, and then the AIO will exhaust out the top. Next step is we're gonna get the power supply installed. Once again, our Segotep power supply. This one right here is a non-modular power supply. So we have a ton of extra cables right here that will be easily able to cable manage in this case, because there's a lot of room to cable manage. I'm gonna undo this little twist tie like so. And with your power supply comes a bunch of essential things. First, you have your power cord. Don't lose that. You definitely need it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the case box. There it goes. We have this little jumper right here, which allows you to test your power supply if it doesn't work. We'll go ahead and put that in the case box as well. And this right here is a little bag that comes with zip ties and 4 coarse threaded power supply screws, which will show you what they look like, because they're gonna be used to install the power supply in the case. So open up this little baggie right here. And there you go, we got 4 coarse threaded power supply screws. And we're gonna go ahead and take our power supply. I'm gonna flip this around and go to Jonah's side to make it a little bit easier. Flip it around. We're gonna take this power supply. We're gonna do fan side facing down, and slide in the power supply, and move those cables out of the way, like so. And this case actually has a little spot where your power supply will sit nicely. And as you can see here, the 4 screw holes line up. We got boom, 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 and boom. And we're gonna take those coarse threaded screws and screw in the power supply. And this one right here. Now that we have our power supply installed, let's go ahead and lay our case down, and we are going to remove this top panel right here, which is very easy to remove. Let me go and show you guys how it works. There's a little lip right here that you pull up on. A little bit of force, take that off. This allows us to drop in our motherboard and AIO and get it screwed in. Now, one other thing you have to do with this case is lower the table for your cameraman, first of all. Secondly, this right here, the riser cable, you have to unscrew this from the PCI slot right here to move it out of the way to get the motherboard underneath it. So we're gonna go ahead and unscrew this right here. And just like that, this is good to go. We'll go ahead and kind of just hide this up here. That's a good way to hold it. Put this screw off to the side, you might need it later. And then we're gonna take our motherboard and cooler, holding it just like this. I love this Arctic cooler not having all these extra cables that need to run behind the board.
Normally, I would tell you guys to, you know your cooler's all the one if you can pick it up by the cooler, but obviously it's held on by magnets.
It's okay, redo, back up. All right, guys, now let's install our motherboard and AIO. This comes off. So the normal method of grabbing it by the cooler, don't do that. Okay, cool. We're gonna go ahead and grab this side right here, lift it up like so. You might need a little bit of assistance from your cameraman to hold that up. And we're gonna go ahead and drop in the motherboard properly this time. Slide it over to the right and make sure everything lines up. See, look, it just came out on me again. Make sure it lines up just like so. And it looks like we're good to go. We're gonna move the AIO off to the side right now. But we have screw holes in the top right. One right here, one right here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here, and one here. And we're gonna go ahead and take these screws out of this little box that came with our case, which will have some fine threaded screws in here like so. Open up this little baggie. And now these are fine threaded screws, which for comparison, there's a fine threaded screw. There's a bunch of them actually. And a coarse threaded one, the power supply screws. You don't wanna use power supply screws with this case, you wanna use the fine threaded screws. So we'll start up here, the top corner. Sometimes, like I see right here, we might have to get a little creative and go around through this top hole with our LTT screwdriver. And screw in. Now we got the hard areas out of the way, we can use a normal screwdriver. Now we're gonna leave this riser cable not installed just yet because we wanna keep it kind of out of the way to plug in stuff at the bottom. It can be kind of hard to do that if you do plug this in right away. But once we do plug it in, we will be installing it right here in the top slot. Now we gotta install our radiator, which should be very simple. I'll go ahead and rotate this around for Jonah so you can see how this will line up. But basically, we're gonna take our bag of screws that came with the liquid cooler. We're gonna go ahead and open that up like so. And you don't wanna use these fan screws, you wanna use these long screws. And we're gonna go ahead and take the long screws. We're gonna go ahead and line up the radiator like so. So it slides in here. And we'll see, what is the best placement for this? Probably like that. So as you can see from the inside, it lines up pretty evenly with the top of the block. And we're pretty much just pushed all the way to the end here. I'm gonna go ahead and get one screw in and make sure. But we're gonna take one screw and we're gonna screw in right here. Okay, there we go. Hey! So we have the radiator installed. We can go ahead and lift this right back up. Radiator is installed. We have the motherboard screwed into the case. We have the fans installed. Now we gotta plug up all the cables, get that PCI riser plugged in, put our graphics card in, and then we'll be ready to game. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this performs.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to plug in a lot of cables. We're gonna start off with the 24 pin. This is your main power rail from the power supply. I'm gonna feed that to Matt right through here.
As you can see, here's the 24 pin coming out right like so. And we're gonna plug it up right here. Make sure to line up the clip. Line up real good, push in, boom. There you go, 24 pin installed.
So next up, we're gonna be plugging in the CPU. So this is going to be an 8 pin, but we're actually going to need an 8 and a 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and split one of these. And first, I'll give Matt the full 8 pin.
As you can see right here, is a little bit different than normal builds. We're actually gonna be plugging it in from the top. You can see the 8 pin and the 4 pin right here. But this case is really nice because even with the AIO installed, we can easily flip this around like so. Line it up, as you can see, it's lined up, ready to go. Push in on both sides, and boom, we are now clicked in. Now we got to get the other 4 pin.
Yep, and this is only one connector will work, so just try your luck.
So here it is, and we're gonna plug it up right there. Same deal, a little bit of folding. Line it up, push it in. I was about to say, is that actually the wrong one? There you go, we have the CPU power plugged in. A little more difficult. If you wanted to save the time, you can just do it before you install the AIO, but you know, if you're following this step by step, you probably already got it installed, so try it that way first.
All right, so first thing we're gonna be passing through on the case is the front panel, and that's going to go right through the first slot.
And as you can see, the front panel is on the left side, so make sure to line up the missing pin with the missing pin on the far left side of this connector right here. You push in, and boom, there is your front panel. Easiest front panel install ever.
So this right here is HD audio. It kind of looks similar like a USB 2 header, which this case doesn't have, so that works out pretty well. It's gonna go right on the far side over here.
As you can see, here comes the HD audio, and again, it's the far left side of the motherboard, so we're gonna go ahead and take it, line up the missing pin, and we're going to push in. And just like that, the HD audio is installed.
So next up, we're gonna be installing the USB 3 header, and just because we've had to deal with this case before, it is a right angle, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take the connector and kind of fold it over. You don't wanna do it to the point it's gonna break, but it's a pretty flexible connector because it's gonna hit the fan, so Matt's gonna need a little bit of bendage.
So yeah, as you can see, this is the right angle USB 3, which can be kind of hard with these cables. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of push, push.
Oh God.
Oh no, it's like sitting on top of it.
Oh God.
Oh, this is painful.
Oh.
Brother in Christ.
Ugh.
As you can see, we took the fan out because it is possible to plug it in, but it's very, very tight. I recommend just taking out that bottom fan, lining up the clip, push it in, there you go, and now we can put the fan back.
This right here is the USB Type-C connector. So this one's gonna be a little smaller than USB 3. We're gonna put it right through here.
Yep, right through here, and this only goes one way, so we'll see if this is the right way. No.
This is not the way.
I know, it's like we're having deja vu. Line up, push it in, click, good to go.
So now we're gonna go ahead and just preemptively put through the graphics card power. This is off the power supply. They're called PCIe. They look kind of like CPU headers, but they're a little different.
So as you can see, they're coming through this little cutout right here, and it'll work nicely when we install our GPU. Just kind of keep them off to the side for now.
So what we're gonna do is the Hyte fans actually come with a fan splitter so you can daisy chain them together. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug 3 of them in. And the motherboard's actually gonna have 2 headers on it, which works out perfect. We'll have just enough. All right, where do you want this one?
One on the 24 pin. And as you can see, the fan header right here, we're gonna line it up, push it in, boom, we're good to go.
And then the solo fan header we're gonna put up by the 24 pin.
Yep, right underneath the 24 pin, there is another fan header. Again, line it up with this clip, push in, boop, good to go. So now, since this is a vertically mounted graphics card setup, what we're gonna wanna do is install the PCI riser card right here. All right guys, what we need to do is remove this PCI cover right here because this is where the riser card is gonna be mounted. So we'll go ahead and take this out. Go ahead and move this up one and screw it down. Now we're gonna take our riser card, make sure the PCI slot is open and ready for the card. Slide in and push, just like that. Now you should have an extra power supply screw. I remember telling you guys that the other day. All right, so we're gonna take the extra power supply screw that I most certainly did not lose, and we're gonna go and screw in right here. Or you can grab some from the bag that come with the case. And now that we're good here, what we need to do is install our graphics card. Here's the beautiful GPU. Here she is, looking all fine and dandy. And what we're gonna go ahead and do is go ahead and test fit it real quick, see where this is gonna line up. It's gonna be these back two right here that we need to unscrew. Go ahead and get our screwdriver once again and unscrew this and unscrew this. Now we're gonna take our graphics card and we're going to line it up with the riser card. Make sure everything lines up nice and then push down firmly until you hear a click. Now we're gonna take those same screws from the covers right here and screw in our graphics card. Cool. Now we're gonna go ahead and take the PCI power that we ran through earlier. We're gonna take one of them, which is our 8-pin right here, and we're gonna plug it into the top on the right side, if you're facing the graphics card. And then we're gonna take this other one, and we only need a 6-pin. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the extra pins, peel this off so you can just tuck it away. You don't have to look at it anymore. Line it up, push it in, and boom, you're good to go. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is go ahead and feed some of these cables back through the cutout. And then we will use some zip ties to kind of bundle them all up together and make them look just fine. But yeah, guys, we now have our GPU installed. It is time for some cable management, and then we can turn the PC on for the first time and get to gaming.
All right, guys, it's everyone's favorite part of the build. And by favorite, I mean usually people's least favorite, but don't worry. It's nice and simple. You just need a big handful of zip ties. Do not be afraid to use too many. There's no such thing. I'm gonna go ahead and start off up top and work my way down. We're just gonna bundle things together and you'll see how it'll turn out. It'll be pretty nice. All right, we got a pretty cable managed. You're gonna go through with a flush cut. Go ahead and cut all these. As I've told you guys before, I like to keep the bottom very loosely cable managed just so that you know, if you ever need to do any troubleshooting or anything, it's easy to get to all this stuff. But I'd say at this point, we're ready to turn this PC on and see how it looks.
Oh, all right, guys, as you can see, our build is done. Grand reveal, is it gonna turn on? Let's go.
Oh, look, it actually is some RGB. It's the Gigabyte logo.
Yeah.
We'll have to change that, but wow, it's looking pretty nice.
Not too bad of a build, looking pretty clean. Now that we showed you guys how to build it, we're gonna play some games on it, and then we'll talk about how you have a chance to win one of these, because yeah, you have a chance to win one. You don't have to buy one. You can buy one at PC Bros if you don't win, but you can win one of these, and we'll talk more about it after the benchmarks.
All right, guys, well, so we're actually streaming right now to our secondary Twitch, which is just for testing PCs. So you're getting like, this is a real streaming experience. We're actually using our internet, we're using the full power of this PC, and we're running, let's see, 1080p. We're on the balance preset with DLSS, oh my goodness. DLSS set to quality, so not even balanced. So we're trying to get some good looks here. And this, you definitely could do 1440p with this as well. You might want to go a little bit lower settings, of course, because right now we're on drop. I mean, we're getting decent FPS, but if you want like a really high refresh rate of 1440p, you're definitely gonna need a little more than this. Don't play with me, fool.
Don't play.
Gotta imagine. That would be so sad if that happened on this account. What does this guy think he's doing? Oh my god. Oh, they got me too. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. Can I have a 1v1 like ever? Not busted enough. Didn't even crack armor. Oh. Dang, this thing does not freaking do damage. Holy crap. My sniper is itching, y'all. Mr. Dicky Hardwood. Oh, what is this guy doing here? Why was he on top of it? Holy crap, what is that? It was a shotgun. It was like incendiary. Oh my good. Oh my god, he's fully healed. We're both probably fully healed now, but the problem is he has a shotgun and we are now close quarters. Hey, Bozo. There it is. That was Warzone. I mean, hey, streaming while gaming was pretty freaking good for this AAA title. Let's go ahead and try another game on stream.
All right, guys, we're in Fortnite, and we are currently running, let's see, what are the settings we're currently running? DX12, unlimited frame rate. Ooh, that should be off. That should be off. Far recent slow textures, the huge. Definitely testing the 7500F here, guys.
Pro settings.
Pro settings. Look at that freeze frame. What?
You're going,
But the real question is, will 75? Oh, we're getting encoding overload while we're loading in for the first time. Here we are, baby. Oh, yeah, that's better. Cool, sweet. All right, so let's drop to restored reels because they're restored now. Definitely still getting an encoding because the CPU's at 100%. We'll see if that settles out. First drop be laggy. Where's this? Oh. Okay, FPS numbers crazy. Not so anonymous anymore, buddy. Promote explosives. That sounds like fun. Really? I need my drugs. Oh, hey, what's up? I gotta get out of here. Get out and fight like a man. This guy really wants me. Oh, no! Potato got me. I'll give you one more drop, McAllister. There I go! And now I'm playing Fall Guys. Oy, oy, oy. Hey! No! New storm circle. Oh, okay. Hey, let's go! There you go. Oh, here comes somebody. Oh, hey! Okay. What? 200 FPS, a little bit below sometimes. That was actually a champion. I don't believe that. Yeah, good performance. I guess we'll go and run 3D Mark, see what our overall PC performance is. But in terms of streaming, playing eSports titles, this works really good, which is the majority of the games people are streaming nowadays. So pretty good test to see what this thing can do. Let's run 3D Mark and talk about how you can win one of these PCs.
All right, gamers, you got to see us stream on this PC to our secondary Twitch channel, and I would say that this thing did pretty good. You can definitely stretch very well into 1080p high refresh rate, and even some 1440p if you're willing to lower some settings.
And of course, we had to test this in our 3D Mark benchmark to see the cent per point average, and the score ended up being 12,851, which is an 8 cent per point average for the price point of $1,050. And all in all, this is a really nice looking build. Good upgrade path, doesn't sacrifice on build quality, and has a really awesome streaming potential where you can get into live streaming only spending $1,000. But I did tell you guys that you have a chance to win one of these PCs, and you do have a chance to do that. On August 9th, you have a chance to win one of these PCs. All you have to do is be over on twitch.tv/ToastyBros at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and at around 5 p.m. we will be giving away the PC, but we do a lot of other awesome giveaways, so definitely hang out. And if you want to build this PC yourself, check the link in the description down below. They will be affiliate links and they will help us out. Let us know what you think of this gaming PC in the comments down below, and would you build one yourself or buy one?
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
So like Matt said, this PC right here will be a giveaway courtesy of PC Bros and Toasty Bros, but if you don't win the giveaway or you're not eligible or any other reason you just want to support PC Bros maybe, we will have 4 more of these for sale. We do this every single month.
We sell awesome gaming PCs like this one and a bunch of other ones at PCBros.tech. If you use code ToastyBros on checkout, you'll save even more money on this PC, 3% off. See you guys later. Goodbye.
Peace.